This is pure brain. Come on.
Bob, coach.
Let's be honest, we've all seen a dream vehicle up there on the big screen at some point, and while many are now preserved in museums or private collections, others have had strange journeys getting there or faced far worse fates. Bond vehicles are always highly sought after, none more so than the Aston Martin DB5, first introduced in Goldfinger. 4 cars were produced over the course of the film. 2 were for promotion and 2 were for production. The 2 promotional ones are already sold. One is in a museum in the Netherlands and the other is in a private collection. One of the production ones that doesn't have gadgets is also in a private collection. What about the other production one that does have gadgets? The gadgets were taken out and it was brought back to Aston Martin, who sold it to a Utahnian? A businessman from Utah bought the car from them and he reinstalled the gadgets, and then he sold it to another collector in 1986 who kept it in an airport hangar in Boca Raton, where it remained for a decade. And then it got stolen. Thieves disabled alarms, cut through doors and wrapped a chain around the axle of the car and dragged it, leaving behind tyre marks which then disappeared into presumably a waiting truck or plane. Nobody knew what happened to it. There was alleged sightings in America. Some people said it was dumped in the ocean for insurance reasons, but it was a mystery. Then, in 2022, it was found in a private collection in the Middle East, and despite efforts to get it back, seemingly still there. For Bullitt, there were 2 '68 Mustangs used, and for years it was thought that only one of them remained, the one that was bought from a magazine ad in 1974 for $6,000, one that Steve McQueen tried and failed to buy back from the owner. But it turns out he wanted to keep it in his family, and he did for decades until it was restored and sold at auction for $3.4 million in 2020. The other one is even stranger. It was in a junkyard in Mexico, a junkyard that was owned by people who converted cars to make replicas of the car Eleanor, a prize car in the movie Gone in 60 Seconds. But when they checked the vehicle identification number, they learned they had the Mustang from Bullitt. Surprisingly, cinematic cars hitting the scrapyard is not uncommon. For the film Christine, it's estimated that 24 cars were used, and most of them went to the scrapyard. Mad Max's Interceptor nearly suffered a similar fate. After the first film, the car was given to the stunt driver as payment because they literally ran out of money. But when they made the sequel, Road Warrior, the car was purchased back and used as the hero car for close-ups and such. They also made another car to use as the stunt car, which was blown up over the course of the film. But the hero car was sent to a junkyard in Adelaide, who thankfully discovered what they had and a fan purchased it. Not every big screen motor is lucky enough to be found though. For the Italian Job from 1969, 31 cars were used. 6 of them were Mini Cooper S's, as we see in the film, and the other 25 were Minis that were converted to look like Mini Cooper S's. Over the extensive stunt work in the film though, most of these cars were destroyed or damaged beyond repair. However, when filming Wrapped, 6 of the cars were apparently abandoned in a garage in Turin. These have never appeared again. It's possible they were used for scrappage, but we just don't know for sure. And as such, there's no verified surviving Mini left from the film. So the movie Cars weren't lucky, but come back next time and we'll talk movie bikes, boats and more.